Thing we got. Certainly. Call to order, please. 1, 2, 3.
Ms. De La Vega?
Present.
Ms. Perez is absent. Mr. Rodriguez?
Present.
Mr. Tunidor?
Present.
Mr. Zogby?
Present.
Mr. Junco?
Present.
Mr. President, you have enough members to conduct business.
Thank you. Invocation, please, led by Marbellis.
Lord, we ask for your continued blessing upon our city. We ask that you grant the members of this council wisdom and understanding in every decision they face. Amen.
Thank you. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mr. Council Vice President Zog.
Please stand and face the flag. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right. Meeting guidelines.
All lobbyists must register with the city clerk. As a courtesy to others, please refrain from using cellular telephones or other similar electronic devices in the council chamber. A maximum of 3 speakers in favor and 3 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the council on any one item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. No signs or placards in support of or in opposition to an item or speaker shall be permitted within the council chamber. Any person, whether participating via the web platform, telephonic conferencing, or physical presence at City Hall, interested in making comments or posing questions on matters of public concern or on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may address the City Council on any item pertaining to city business during the comments and questions portion of the meeting. A member of the public is limited to 1 appearance before the City Council, and the speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Individuals should be respectful of the elected officials and staff that are on the dais and make every effort to speak with a moderate tone using appropriate language and avoiding personal attacks. Members of the public in the audience shall refrain from shouting or making remarks from their seats to the mayor, council members, or staff sitting on the dais. The public can view public meetings on the city's YouTube page.
Thank you. Marbellis, I see the comments or questions are before presentation.
I'm sorry, sir. Yes, we can do presentations first.
Yes, please.
Mayor Garcia Robles and the City Council proclaim August 14th, 2025 Social Security Day in Hialeah to celebrate the 90th anniversary of the Social Security Program.
Thank you. Mayor? Or
Yes, so
Then
I would just like to recognize the celebration of the 90th anniversary of Social Security, which lands the official date of August 14th. The city of Hialeah would love to commemorate the AARP Florida on this amazing milestone and the highlights it impacts, not only on our residents, but so many more. Miss Yvonne Fernandez, if she is available. Yes, if you want to come up to. So Social Security is one of the most successful and widely supportive initiatives in history, helping Americans stay out of poverty and live with dignity after a lifetime of hard work. Mrs. Yvonne Fernandez, thank you for everything AARP has done, not only for our community, yourself, but for all the residents here in the state of Florida.
So as mayor of the city and with the council, I'm naming August 14th Social Security Day.
And I think we have one more. We're good?
Hi, how are you? If I may through the chair?
yes.
So I'm proud that one of the first initiatives that I had done when I was elected was certify the city as an AARP. I believe we became certified January 25th of 2021. And it's an honor to have such a prestigious organization that gives back so much. That's throughout our county. I believe you're in like 45 different counties here. And I know one of the first things that we did was reach out to ARP and find out different grants that are available in order to certify our city, in order to find funding in different like ADA compliance for our buildings that may have been older, to have those electrical doors that open, to have ramps, to have even beautiful sidewalks that have artists that come out and paint it. I also had an initiative where we had an artist that came out and did beautiful refrigerators, community refrigerators, and we put them in the back of several low-income and elderly housing buildings, especially during the pandemic, so that these elder adults that lived in these buildings didn't have to go out to the supermarket, and had fresh produce that was stocked and fresh milk. And this initiative is a community outreach that we all work together with ARP. I've spoken to Laura many times. That's wonderful. And we just want to say thank you for all the community age-friendly opportunities that you offer, and for making communities like us aware of having a lifestyle and offering these amenities and making us more resourceful in what we offer in our city. So I appreciate that. It's an honor. Thank you to Councilwoman Melinda de la Vega for reaching out to you and for embracing this opportunity to honor you guys here at Council Chambers tonight in front of everyone. So a big round of applause to them, please.
You want to say a couple words? If you want to say a couple words.
Well, first of all, I would like to show our biggest gratitude to the city of Hialeah. I would say to the points. Social Security was signed into a law 90 years ago in August 14. So I have to say that in the whole Florida, in this big celebration that the AARP is putting up together to really mention the importance of an initiative that for so many years had been in place to secure the financial stability of seniors. And of course, our community is a beneficiary of the work of many other generations previous to today. Thank you, Mayor, for allowing us to put this on the books. And thank you, Councilwoman Melinda, and thank you, Councilwoman Monica, for the recognition of AARP. AARP is an organization that for 65 years has been protecting not only Social Security, but as you mentioned, community when we all can live with dignity, when all can have what they need to be in purposeful manner to the end of our life. I have to say that you are mentioning livable communities. That is one of the big initiatives that ARP have been leading in the United States. So really embark the counties on Florida, but nationwide. But the interesting part is that this year we have community grants. So ARP grant creativity and innovation for seniors. And Hialeah City has one of the grants that we're giving to Florida to continue with the work that you mentioned. But also coming back to the day of the celebration of today, August 14. I would say that Hialeah is the first city in South Florida that signed the proclamation. So thank you very much. It made me very proud because I love Hialeah and I am Hispanic. Voy a hablar en español. Yo soy hispana y creo que el Seguro Social ha tenido un protector en AARP por 65 años. Esta iniciativa, Seguro Social, no tiene partido. Es realmente un bien de todos que nos lo hemos ganado. Así que la lucha para mantenerlo protegido en AARP por 65 años ha estado siempre allí y creo que es el tiempo en que nuestros líderes deben estar hablando. No porque tiene 90 años no es saludable, pero sí necesita cambios y el tiempo de hacerlos es ahora. Así que thank you, Hialeah, City of Hialeah, for being part of the big celebration. I know, Mayor, that you approved August 14 will be light up the City Hall in red. So I really invite everybody to pass by and take the picture and put it on the social media because it's big. And thank you for supporting us.
Okay, let's go down so to give her the proclamation.
Next item, please.
Comments and questions. Registered speaker number 1 is Santiago Cárdenas.
Dr. Santiago Cárdenas, 125 East Main Street, Hialeah 33210.
Welcome.
It is my honor as the president of Los Caballeros Católicos to invite you, the mayor, and all the councilmen and women to a mass in a commemoration of the foundation of our city. It was the 10th of September, 1925. The pastor, Fray Luis Alberto, order of the PREs Los Escolapios, is open to celebrate it any Sunday at 9:30 a.m. or on Wednesday, the 10th of the next month at 7 p.m., if possible, in the Church of Saint John the Apostle, 4th Street, 4th Avenue, just around the corner. It will be a religious celebration as a part of a secular program you have elaborated. Attached are the phones and email to contact the parish. Thanks you, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Muchas gracias. Gracias. Okay. Please, next person.
Justa Azi.
Hi, host Alden, who lives at 788 Southeast Park Drive, wishes to show a video.
Right, we consider using our money for our business, for our business. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it, appreciate it. Yeah, please. Pretty quick, just to clarify on what he said, the RFP was put out for the enrollment rate and in these programs, if you can skip, sorry, as far as first senior, 501 Palm Avenue. RFP, we put in 75% of the enrollment rate had to be Hialeah residents. We also established two different pricing structures. We had a recreation and a private. Recreation is capped at $55 per kid, including everything. Uniforms, games, all in for our Hialeah residents, $55. Yes. Everything. If you want to elect to go on traveling needs or go on the higher needs, then you are able to pay for that. But for our residents, we established $55 all in.
Right, maximum how many weeks of sanctions?
It varied on 10 weeks,
10 weeks at 55, not 55 every month.
55 for the entire season, including the
Including what?
playoffs and the championship game. Uniforms, trophies, medals, everything. Thank you.
I just wanna,
That's it. Okay. Next person.
Jose Ozzie.
Good evening, everybody. Jose Alzi, 788 Southeast Park Drive. I know, like, I want to preface this that it's political season. Today, I'm not going to ask nobody no questions. I'm not supporting anybody in this election. I'm not against anybody. But one thing I want everybody to keep in mind that we have to be honest, right? If we're not honest with what's going on in our Parks and Recreation Department, it's not going to improve, you know? For our parks to be used, like Costas Park has no program for the kids. You guys all aware of this. Right now, Doral residents are using Costas Park. For Costas Park only to have programs for Doral residents. For the residents of City of Miami, Miami Beach, they even drive from Weston to pay $1,500 to play at Mylanda Park. That's, you know, our taxpayers have been paying taxes for 100 years. They have the right, you know. For us to spend, we have the highest, we spend the most money on our 4th of July celebration than anybody in the state of Florida. For us to eliminate summer programs in 5 parks and not provide lunches, we have to be aware of the community that we're serving, you know. A lot of people rely on those lunches. We approved a month ago $32,000 for mariachi for the Food and Wine Festival, which is fine to have mariachi spend $32,000. But with that money, we could open up those 5 parks and have summer lunches. So I don't want to ask any questions. I don't want to be for or against. I just hope that we bring honesty what's going on with our Parks and Recreation. We're aware that we're not serving our needs. We're aware that our parks are being used by non-residents when, like for this summer, 4 or 6 pools were not available for residents. You know, there's like so much going on, and then we like to gaslight, right? We're gaslighting. Oh, we have the best program. We have the best program. But what we saw in the video, that's we went beyond gaslighting, right? That's like not being honest, right? Last city council meeting, we saw the planning director. We gave away 30% of the oldest park to CVS for a parking lot, and yet we were told, you know, it's going to be improved. It's going to be improved. We leased out the park at Slade Park to the Cohia, and we told the residents are going to use the park. That was another lie. It wasn't put in writing. Right now, 50% of the park of Slade is not available to the residents. So I just ask you to please, if you stop gaslighting, be aware we have a problem. I know there's a lot going on, but we're a working class community. It's not right for our taxpayers to be recreating we have great facilities that are used by City of Miami City. So I hope you keep that in mind, that we're a working class community. And I wish you the best. May God bring the best. God's plan is God's plan. But just be aware of what I just said. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, through the chair,
Yes.
Mr. Ozzie, did you email us that video? No? Is there a way that you could email it to me? Okay, all right, thank you.
I did, ma'am. I sent it to
emailed
the
it?
entire
When?
council.
When did you send that?
I don't know.
Today?
No, not today.
Friday?
Last week, for
Okay.
sure, but I don't know what
I
day.
don't know if I could open it from my cell phone, that's why. I'll check here. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next person, please.
Efraín Infante.
Good evening to all. My name is Efraín Infante. I live in Hialeah for 40 years now at 3898 West 8th Court. I have been sending letters since 2022 to the city, to the mayor and some council regarding the lack of white division lines in several roads of the city. I wrote a letter to the mayor and to the councilors, but I made that in Spanish. So I'm going to briefly, because if I take the translator, it would take too much time. Even though this is not a large letter, I only going to mention the main points. The main point is what they just mentioned. So said that I since 2002 trying to bring this subject to the attention of the city. I know that this implies money and to be planned and to be included in the budget. But what I'm asking for is, now I heard the mayor, thanks God that you are planning to include that budget for this purpose in the next budget. Hopefully that will happen. But momentarily, at least, I mentioned 2 or 3 specific addresses or ways or roads of the city that those white lanes are almost gone completely or fault completely. As it's very dangerous when driving during the night, especially for us, the elders. So please pay attention to this. We appreciate that you pay attention to the many persons around me and around whoever has my age or less or more or less is complaining about that in Hialeah. When you go to the West Coast, the smaller cities, true, most of the street and avenue has the one here, and also in the county, Miami-Dade County, they are missing enormously. So that's the point. I don't want to elaborate too much because it will take too much time. And actually, the main message is that please include that. Whoever could say, no, we don't have the budget because too much money, probably more than $1 million, I guess. But please, it's not able to be done in a short while, the whole thing, the whole project, the whole city, at least. Some of you, the Department of Construction, whatever, make incursions during the night in several areas with more traffic and take a look to that to avoid an accident or something like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
If I may through the chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Señor Efraín, un momento, aquí en la carta por acá, mira, aquí. Aquí en la carta usted escribe que no hay luces, es que no hay poste o que el poste está ahí
No,
sin luz.
realmente, aclarando, buena
Sí.
pregunta. En esas áreas sí hay luces, lo que son las luces antiguas medias amarillas, y hay algunos árboles en la parte del sur, específicamente en lo que es la 8 Avenida del West. Entonces, entre que las luces son muy pobres y hay algunos árboles de adorno que tiene que haberlos. Entonces, eso más lo nebulosa que están las líneas,
Ya.
en algunas partes desaparecen de noche, no se ven.
Ujú.
Entonces eso crea, aunque tú no sabes si va, como yo mencioné ahí, por arriba del contenedor, estás en el medio de la división.
Sí, muy peligroso.
Muy peligroso.
Ok, pero sí hay luz, lo que están ya
Sí,
muy
sí, muy
apagadas.
gastadita.
Hay árboles que no está permitiendo que pase la luz a la calle.
Y está
Ok.
muy escasa, entonces eso coopera
Está bien.
a que tengamos mayor gravedad
Ok.
en no ver las rayas.
Ok, estaremos en contacto con usted.
Muchas
Gracias.
gracias. Ahí está mi teléfono y todo.
Gracias.
Estamos trabajando, señor Efraín, estamos trabajando también en los postes de las luces, que se están haciendo algunos cambios para unos más nuevos que alumbran más. Sí, sí, se está trabajando en eso, vienen más postes de luz nuevos. Sí, sí, vienen más postes de luz y yo estoy trabajando para la pintura de las calles también, como le dije anteriormente. Claro que sí.
Muchas gracias.
No, gracias a usted.
Thank you. Thank you. Next person, please.
Ángela Correa.
Seguro. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Next person, please.
There are no more registered speakers.
Okay. Next item, please. Announcement. Oh,
Consent items double K and double L have been added to today's agenda.
okay. What's the pleasure of the council? Motion. Got a motion? You a second? Okay, got a first and a second.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Oh, I skipped. Oh, I'm sorry, resolution. I'm so sorry. Okay, missed it. Okay, you can go back to it because I missed the.
we should just take the vote and then we can. go
Okay,
back to
thank
the
you.
vote.
Sorry about that.
Sure.
Okay.
Mr. Rodriguez, your vote on consent agenda?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
No,
Motion carries. The consent agenda has passed.
Thank you, and I'm sorry. So, next item, please. We'll go back to resolution.
Board
Or-
appointment,
Board
item
appointments.
9A, proposed resolution appointing Lázaro Chavez as a member of the Beautification Committee as the mayor's appointment beginning on August 12, 2025, for a 2-year term ending on August 11, 2027.
Mayor?
I didn't see him here. He's a young kid. We need the beautification board to start meeting. I know we're missing some people on that board, so you guys wanna,
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. Actually, I myself need to do the same thing too. Okay, can I get a motion?
Motion.
I got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Got a motion for 1 and 2. Thank you.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega, Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
So, you said after, right?
No.
Next item, please.
we're moving on to administrative items. And
Yeah.
I would like to pull out of order item D, if it's okay with everyone on the board.
Okay. Well, as you said, the mayor would like to request the administrative item pulled. Can I have we need to vote, right?
We don't need a vote unless
No.
there's opposition from the
No.
council. We can just take the item.
consent. I'm good.
First reading of proposed ordinance amending chapter 94 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Hialeah entitled Water and Sewers, and in particular Hialeah Code Section 94-163 entitled Water and Wastewater Payment in lieu of Franchise Fees, to suspend the collection of the water and wastewater franchise fee to be imposed, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, I would like to propose an amendment. I would like to just eliminate the fee instead of suspending it.
Mr. Attorney?
Well, my concern is that that amendment, I am concerned that that's a substantial variance. And not saying that that cannot be done, that can be done. But in my view, that would require a separate ordinance going forward, repealing this fee from the code as opposed to suspending it for a year.
Okay. So then what will be, what is your recommendation here?
So we wouldn't just amend this one instead of suspended to just eliminate?
Well, there's a, the code, so the code provides that, when you change it by ordinance. When you're going to leave it the same, you can do it by resolution. So what the council has done, at least in recent memory to me, is suspend it for 1-year intervals. For repealing it, which is just taking it out of the code altogether, is it's very doable. It's very doable, but it wasn't presented that way. And I believe that the prudent thing to do is, my advice is to put that forward as a separate ordinance, just repealing it. You can put it forward as a separate ordinance. Repealing it, we'll just repeal it for the time. Right now, you have it suspended for a year. This passes, and then you can just put it forth repealing, and it'll just go away.
So we pass it like this now,
You pass it like this now, it would suspend it for a year.
bring back another ordinance?
You bring back another ordinance, just repealing the section. Repealing the section of the code, if that is the will of the mayor and the council, imposing this fee, just removing it. It's like any other repealer, it's different than suspending it. It's
Okay, so,
very doable, but it's just a different concept.
okay, and then the ordinance will have to be for the next.
Well, yes, we'll prepare. It's a repealer is pretty simple unless, there's particular language that the mayor council wants in there. It would just be an ordinance striking through the code section, it's repealed in its entirety,
Okay,
and then it's gone. It's off the books.
got it. Okay. So we're voting for now is to
Yeah, to
continue
suspend.
suspended. Okay, all right. Did you read it?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll, please.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Before we take a vote, should we maybe find out how this could affect us if we repeal it completely? I don't know, to,
Right now, we're suspending it. We've been suspending it yearly. If in the future, another council that's here wants to bring it back, all they gotta do is make another ordinance and bring it back.
That is true.
so we just have, we're gonna pause it?
Right now, we're pausing it. We have to bring an ordinance saying that we're.
Okay.
Yeah, right now you're pausing it as,
And it was paused since when?
I think
It
last
was
year.
last year, I
year?
think,
Ruth, last year?
But was it a
for
portion?
2 years.
But it's
No, the whole
a
thing.
portion of it, right?
No, the whole thing,
The 7.5.
todo.
the prior year, the prior mayor brought forth legislation suspending it. I don't know before that, but that was done. It was a full suspension. This is a full suspension.
So we're just reactivating something that was already there. We're not lowering it.
No, it's just,
You're suspending it. It's
Something-
just, it goes
Right.
away, but it's for 1 year as opposed to permanent. The ordinance is still in the books. And all I was saying is very simply, to get rid of it, you need it's an ordinance, repealing it, just,
Okay, yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 26, 2025.
Next item, please.
Administrative item A, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-059, which calls for scheduling a special primary election to fill the office of City Council Member Group 3, setting Tuesday, November 4th, 2025 as the date of such election, a special general election runoff to be held on Tuesday, December 9th, 2025, if necessary, and establishing the qualifying period during business hours no earlier than 12 p.m. noon on Monday, July 7th, 2025, and no later than 5 p.m. on Monday, July 28th, 2025, and describing persons qualified to vote in said election, designating and appointing the city clerk as the official city representative with respect to the use of such registration books and records, directing the city clerk to give notice of this ordinance and of its adoption in the manner provided by law, and transmit a certified copy to the Miami-Dade County Supervisor of Elections, providing for the Miami-Dade County Supervisor of Elections to conduct these elections and all other matters related thereto. Attached hereto as Exhibit A, specifically amending Section 2 of the ordinance by removing Section 2.02 subsection C2, temporary vacancy resulting from disability, suspension, court order, or other lawful action, and replacing it with Section 2.02 subsection C1, permanent vacancy resulting from death, resignation, recall, court order, or other lawful action of the City of Hialeah Charter, and to clarify that the candidate elected shall only serve the portion of the term of former council member Group 3, Jacqueline Garcia Robes's term ending on November 5th, 2027, or in the event of the need for a runoff election on December 10th, 2027, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Items open for second reading and open for public opinion or comments.
Motion.
I have a motion
Second.
and I have a second.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Item 11B, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 2025-021, attached as Exhibit A, which amended Chapter 78 entitled Solid Waste, specifically removing the strike-through of Section 78-160 subsection A3, A2, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date.
Items also open for second reading. Any comments or questions from the public? Can I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Got a 1 and 2.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tonidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Item 11C, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance amending ordinance number 2018-012, which bans the operation of medical marijuana treatment center and dispensing facilities attached hereto as Exhibit A, specifically striking Section 2 of the ordinance, which is legally preempted by Florida law, banning the operation of medical marijuana dispensing facilities, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. Also open for second reading. Anybody from the public? Can I have a motion?
Through the chair.
Yes.
Mr. Attorney, sir, can you just clarify what we're striking from
Yes.
that ordinance? Thank you, sir.
Yes. State law, specifically state statute 381.986 provides that regulation and cultivation, processing, and delivery of marijuana by medical marijuana treatment centers is preempted to the state of Florida. No local regulation on that. So all this does, it's simply a house cleaning item to say that medical marijuana treatment centers within the jurisdiction of the city will be as regulated by the state of Florida, which means they have to get the correct permits, the correct approvals. They have to have that certain number of licenses. That's all this does. It's a cleanup because the state regulates that exclusively. It continues in full force and effect the moratorium in the city on medical marijuana treatment center dispensing facilities, the vaping shops and so forth, which is allowed by state law for cities to ban those, which the city has since it first enacted this law years ago, and that will continue. So it's simply to make our ordinance comply with state law. That's all it does.
We can ban it, but if we didn't ban it, it would be regulated by the state, not by us, right? Yeah.
You can ban the dispensing facilities,
Yes.
and you did, and you do, and you will continue to do so. That's
Yes.
not changing.
Yes, sir.
The treatment center
Hmm.
is what is preempted to the state,
Gotcha.
the state agencies,
Gotcha.
not the city, not even, I believe, Dade County Health. It's the state of Florida
Very good.
through its whole program of, the certain number of licenses to certain, that business. And that's all this seeks to do, to clarify that. The dispensing facility ban remains in operative force and effect.
Thank you, sir. Motion.
Got a motion? Can I have a second?
Second.
Got a 1 and 2.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tonidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you. Next item.
Administrative item 11E. First reading of proposed ordinance amending the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances in the following manner. Amending Chapter 98 entitled Zoning, Article 3 entitled Plans and Plats, Division 3 entitled Subdivision Plats, Section 98-346 entitled Required, striking Planning and Zoning Board and City Council to include Administrative Officer, as required by Section 177.071 of the Florida Statutes, amending Chapter 98 entitled Zoning, Article 3 entitled Subdivision Plats, Section 98-347 entitled Criteria for Approval, subsection 1 entitled Tentative Plat, striking Planning and Zoning Board to include Administrative Officer as required by Section 177.071 Florida Statutes, amending Chapter 98 entitled Zoning, Article 3 entitled Subdivision Plats, Section 98-347 entitled Criteria for Approval, subsection 3 entitled Agreement Bond, striking Planning and Zoning Board for approval, and the City Council and the City Clerk to include Administrative Officer as required by Section 177.071 of the Florida Statutes, and Administrative Officer in the Streets Department, amending Chapter 98 entitled Zoning, Article 3 entitled Subdivision Plat, Section 98-347 entitled Criteria for Approval, subsection 6 entitled Payment of Taxes, Liens, Assessments, striking mayor and city council to include administrative officer as required by section 177.071 of the Florida statutes, amending Part 3 Land Development Code, Regulation Number 10, entitled Subdivision of Land, Section 10-3, subsection 8, entitled Plats and Platting Procedure, striking recommended by the Planning and Zoning Board and approved by ordinance of the City Council and the Mayor. Amending Part 3 Land Development Code, Regulation Number 10, entitled Subdivision of Land, Section 10-3, subsection B, entitled Plats and Platting Procedure, to repeal and amend said section to include Section 177.071 of the Florida statutes, administrative approval of plats by designated county or municipal officer. Designated county or municipal official sets forth an administrative approval procedure for plats. A plat or replat submitted under this section shall be administratively approved, and no further action or approval by the city council is required if a plat or replat complies with the requirements of section 177.071 of the Florida statutes, and authorizing the planning and zoning official as the administrative official for said action, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Items for first reading. Any comments or questions from the council?
Through the chair,
Yes, sir.
city attorney. So is this, all we're saying is that for replats, it no longer goes through the P and Z board and the city council?
It, for plots or replat, it no longer goes to the P and Z board and does no longer go to the city council. This is because a new state law, which just passed, it's, Senate Bill 784, codified in 177.071. It's a Florida statute. It's a directive. And it says, the best proof is in the pudding. A plat or replat submitted under this part must be administratively approved, and no further action or approval by the governing body of the county or municipality is required if the plat or replat complies with the requirements of 177.091. That's the plat statute. The governing body of the county municipality shall designate by ordinance or resolution an administrative authority to review and approve the plat, and here, then the statute goes on to say that can be a county administrator or manager, a deputy county administrator, an assistant county administrator, or other high-ranking county or city department with direct or indirect responsibility for the county or municipality's land development, housing, and so forth. So designated right now is the planning and zoning official or whoever else may be designated, but it's a state directive. What I can add is I can tell you that for many decades, plat cases have held that if an applicant for a plat, if they're in compliance, it's like a building permit. It's ministerial. You have to. It's not like a rezoning or a conditional use permit or a comp plan amendment that is discretionary. So this is a state law that is basically saying you have to designate an individual employee to approve it. It no longer will be approved by a city council or a planning and zoning board. And the only exemption is for home rule charter counties. It's home rule charter counties only, and consolidated governments. And I believe that's Miami-Dade County and Jacksonville/Duval. If they have something different in their code, but for cities and all other counties, this is a state mandate.
Got it. And then for the, normally for the replat process, how many readings is it on the city council? Do you recall?
Well, I believe that the replat process is normally, Claudia, is normally
It's two as well?
readings, yeah, by ordinance.
Okay, perfect.
Right, and now there's a time frame. It doesn't mean that Claudia Hasbun or whoever it is has to approve it. It has to comply with the laws, and they can kick it back if it doesn't. But it gives a time frame that within 7 business days you're going to acknowledge receipt, and that you're going to approve it if it complies, and if it doesn't, you send it back with comments saying you need to change the utility lines or the easement description or whatever it is that the defect is.
Got it. Thank you.
If I may, through the chair?
Yes.
So when the applicant applies for this plat approval, what's the procedure? Who is the administrative staff? Is it just one person? Is there a team? Is there a checklist? What will that process look like now that we aren't going through the traditional format?
Well, I believe that the planning and
Okay.
zoning director has been working on that and is going to address that with you
Thank you,
right
sir.
now. Sure.
Thank you.
Claudia Hasbun, Planning and Zoning official. Basically, how it is operating today, it is received by the Planning and Zoning Division. It is sent to actually a committee for several departments of review and also to a city surveyor and to an expert. And then it goes back to Miami-Dade County after the Planning and Zoning Board reviews it. And then it goes back to the city for the final procedure. So basically, what we are doing right now with the administrative process, all the experts and all the divisions and departments that they need to review will continue. The only process that we are eliminating is the Planning and Zoning Board review and approval and the City Council review and approval. So it's mainly going to be maintained, the process, and the approval is just administrative.
And the surveyor, we're sending it to the surveyor, or the applicant is selecting a surveyor and making that transaction privately and then giving that.
No, the city
result.
has retained a surveyor, a city surveyor, so it's our professional, our expert.
Okay. And there's a charge that goes
The
associated
applicant
with
pays
that?
a fee, correct.
Okay. So that turnaround, we're saying it's going to take 7 days to be able to get the surveyor to give us, or
Not necessarily. It's basically the timeframes that we have to review it and send back comments, if any. But there are many processes or steps through the process, and we have to still send it to the county. The county is still going to be involved. So the county will have to also receive that, what is called a T-plat, which is a tentative plat, and then we'll have to be reviewed and approved by them and then send it back to the city.
so therefore, why did we include within 7 business days after the receipt, the plat, the submittal? Why are we including a time frame? Is that the mandate for the
That
state?
is
or
the mandate.
It must
That,
be.
that is a mandate. So to
Correct.
clarify, the mandate is that within 7 business days, you have to acknowledge receipt and that you have it and that I have a plat for, replat of, Highland Oaks subdivision 2, whatever. And then you have to provide information regarding the plat or replat approval process, including requirements or completeness. So unless the applicant requests an extension of time, the administrative authority will prepare or approve with conditions or deny the plat within the time frame submitted in the written notice provided to the applicant under subsection 2. So correct me if I'm wrong, but when you give the applicant a notice, you will give them a forecast of what you think.
We'll give them comments, essentially.
Right,
We'll
right.
give them
And-
comments
And right, so the 7 days is just the state statute requires that you acknowledge it within 7 days.
Are we requiring the submittal to be electronic? Did we change maybe the format of our office to see who's going to be receiving this? It's designated just to handle this?
We are working and hopefully we can have a full electronic process that is going to be using the system that we have, Tyler. But the process will remain, I will say, 80% the same as is today.
Okay. And who's going to be our point person in that department that's going to be reviewing this as they start coming in?
Well, for
electronically?
responsibilities, it's going to be me, but then
To
we'll
approve
have,
it.
exactly. It's going to be my responsibility from my department, but I have a couple of people within the department that they are in charge of that process. But at the end of the day, it's my responsibility to be
To
in
approve
charge
it.
of that process, correct?
But to be aware that they're coming in and that we're meeting that deadline of that 7
Yes.
days, what is the fee or what is the penalty if we do not meet it within 7 days?
I will have to review the state statute, but probably is some sort of, if you don't comply with that, it could be a penalty or it could be something that is approved administratively or something that it will kick in. But basically what.
City Attorney, I would like an answer to this part.
But
Mr.
typically,
Rivas,
what it is
I don't think he
acknowledgement.
hears me.
No.
City Attorney? Sorry.
City Attorney, I had a question, please.
Yes.
I was asking that Claudia doesn't know, what is the penalty if we do not abide by that 7-day mandate that's been enforced? And I think that it's important to already have like an established electronic submittal program and have a point person to make sure that we flow, because I don't know if we're gonna have a penalty as a city if we don't comply within the 7 days.
Well, the statute itself, which I am looking at, it's fairly short, does not in itself provide a penalty. That's not to say that an applicant who is creative, might not be able to come up with, some kind of private property right, something or other. But, I think that if we're just talking about a gap period or a delay period or an interim period that doesn't involve the absolute denial of a plat, I don't see the law giving a remedy for some relatively brief interval of time. It's not in the statute, okay, to answer your question.
And just to clarify, I as understood it is the 7 days for acknowledgement.
Right.
So if we achieve that full electronic procedure, the applicant will receive a process number immediately. And that is the acknowledgement through the system that we have received an application. And we have it in the system already.
So it's just a receipt of submittal, it's been
Correct.
acknowledged.
Right.
However, from that time period, is there an enforcement of by when it must be approved? Because there is a time frame.
No,
when
there
it's
is no
submitted.
time frame.
There's
No
no
time
time
frame,
frame.
no time frame, no.
Okay.
Reasonable.
Have we seen other municipalities already approve this throughout the county?
I have consulted with the county, and since they're not changing, and other municipalities, they're also in the works of creating some of similar processes to do administratively.
Okay. So this is basically making plats an administrative item now.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any more comments or questions? Thank you. And we have a motion.
Motion.
I got a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Got a motion.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 26, 2025.
Next item, please.
Unfinished business.
Unfinished business. Anyone? Next item.
New business, report of Scrivener's error pursuant to section 30-31, agenda of city council meetings of the city of Hialeah Code. The city clerk shall correct Scrivener's errors that are discovered in ordinances, resolutions, council minutes, and staff reports, and promptly report all corrections to the city council. On June 25th, 2025, the city council approved resolution number 2025-152, approving the selection of Visualscape Incorporated for the tree canopy restoration 2024-25 in accordance with the terms, conditions, and specifications contained in invitation for bid number 2024-25-024, attached hereto and made a part hereof as Exhibit A. Resolution number 2025-152 was approved with the incorrect Exhibit A. The purchasing division has corrected Exhibit A to reflect the correct bid documents.
Okay.
This item does not require a vote.
Any questions from the council? Next item, please.
Also, a report of a Scrivener's error on December 10th, 2024. The city council approved resolution number 2025-080, approving $5,388,586 of funds received from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for the Home American Rescue Plan. Upon further review, HUD advised their Housing and Community Services Department that additional funds were missing to be allocated in the additional amount of $8,082 to the city, bringing the total allocation for home ARP to $5,396,668. This item does not require a vote.
Any comments or questions? Okay. New business?
Through the chair.
Yes.
For new business.
I'm sorry?
New business?
Yes, new business.
A couple meetings ago, I had expressed concern from several residents about our current process in helping residents who have extremely high water bills, specifically due to leaks. So therefore, I would like to present to my colleagues to put a motion into to amend or codify our current policy, where we currently assist to credit residents who have a water bill that is 4 times the water bill. That's the current process. What I am proposing is for us to lower it to 2 times instead of 4. So I would like to put in a motion for that.
Okay. Okay.
A second.
Second. Any comments?
Through the chair,
Yes.
I'd like to hear comments from our water and sewer director before I
I think he's logging in.
vote. No, I know. So I'd like to table that till next meeting.
I did speak to him and he explained to me why it's 4 times. We don't have limits to when we give people or residents a credit for a leak. So we make it 4 times because they can come back and say, I had another leak with proof that there was a leak. We give them a credit more than once. When you do that in the county, it's once in a lifetime. They don't ever get a credit again. And that's the reason why he explained to me that we have it set up, that way to 4 times.
Right, but understood. To get to the 4 times, I mean, we have residents who have $1,700 bills and we still can't assist. So I mean, what are the chances of somebody having more than 1 leak, right? It's probably few, but for those instances where this resident, has this one-time leak, I think there should be assistance. And I think right now we're going through a time where this is a time where we should be a little bit closer to maybe what the county has. I just think 4 times is too aggressive.
Is that what the county has right now? 2 times?
No, the county.
The county
2
has-
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they only give it once in a
One
lifetime.
time.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with it.
Is Kevin online?
Kevin?
No, ma'am, he's not online.
Through the chair, I still think we should give ourselves the benefit of having the water and sewer director. He came from the county. He has a better answer for that and probably a justifiable explanation, and then we can make a decision. That's what I think.
Sir,
Oh, shit. Go ahead.
in
Laura.
order to amend the policy, we need to bring back a resolution. So the councilwoman's appropriate motion would be to request that a resolution be drafted and brought back.
So, and to clarify what the clerk has just said correctly, would be, so right now, this item of new business, we would want the majority support, which means bring back, actually, I have to confess, I don't know exactly what it is, if it's a resolution or a written policy or the public works manual, whatever the document is, have to get a hold of it and amend it. So that doesn't mean that you're committing to pass it. You would still need to vote on that. Your directive would be simply to prepare something to be considered, because we're not going to pass what we don't have in front of us anyway. So,
Okay. And that will also take care of Zogby's request. Yeah. So can you have the motion?
I put in a motion.
Second. So we got a motion and a second.
To direct the law department to bring back the ordinance or resolution, whatever,
Correct.
amending the document.
Correct.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor?
Yes.
Mr. Zogby?
No.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. So I think we're done for
Through
zoning.
the chair.
Yes, Councilman.
Yeah, I have one item left, but I wanted to ask about the budget. When can we expect any type of budget memo or any information?
Good afternoon, Ruth Ruby, Executive Director, Finance Management. We should be finalizing the budget end of this week. And you should be able to have your books ready by next week. We expect to be scheduling those meetings towards the end of August, first week in September. So at least a week or 2 before the first budget hearing.
Is when we're expected to receive the information.
No, you will be receiving the information sometime end of next week. The actual budget book, it'll probably take a couple more days after that. But the budget will be completed end of this week. So the end of this week, full budget will be completed. You will be receiving it electronically sometime next week. The actual budget book, you have to give us sometimes about eight days.
Okay, but it's the same thing, right? Where you're gonna.
It's the same thing, it's just that we always give you a hard copy and we always give it to you electronically,
Okay, got it.
okay?
Got it. And then Ruth, just for my understanding, the, what was the increase so far? Do you recall off the top of your head
The increase of,
of the total revenue that we've seen?
it's an additional about roughly $13 million.
So what is that on a percentage base?
I believe it was like an 11% increase,
11%?
yes,
And then what?
over last year.
Got it. And and again, when we talk about an 11%, that's specific to the general, or I'm sorry, it's specific to property taxes.
Yes, ad valorem revenue.
Okay. Do we have an idea more or less of what the, what the water and sewer revenue looks like?
The water and
The budget?
sewer, the budget itself, we have not received. That's what's pending. We will finalize it tomorrow. The increase coming from the county is roughly, I believe is roughly about 15% increase, 15 to 17% increase is what we saw.
From the water.
From water and sewer, Miami-Dade County Water and Sewer increase to the city.
And then is that on the water side or on the,
It's a water and sewer, it's a blended.
it's a blend? What's the breakdown?
I don't have it in front of me,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I can email you all the breakdown.
So the county is charges an additional 15%.
It's
Increase.
roughly about 15 to 16% increase from from Miami-Dade County.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
You're
Thank you, Ruth. Through the chair,
Yes.
I'd like to propose an amendment to bring back, there was an item, I think that we had, where the council had passed a while ago. It didn't make sense then. It doesn't make a lot of sense today regarding the council deferred benefit plan. Is there a way, city attorney, you recall what we're talking about? The
deferred benefit plan ordinance amendment.
Yes, sir.
Well, if it's the will of the council, it can be brought back, but what we generally want to do is we want to work with the sponsor or work with whoever to know what it is that
Yeah,
you know.
So what I'd like to move to bring back an amendment to completely repeal that or eliminate that, but at the same time, maybe have someone from, I forget the company that's managing the benefit, maybe they can come and explain a little bit to us on what that benefit actually looks like on an annual basis. Once we bring back that language, they could possibly at that same time provide a presentation on what that benefit actually looks like. So when we bring back the language, if you can have someone speak to that benefit.
Good evening, Elsa Jaramillo Velez, HR Director. I'm sorry, are you talking about the amendments to Chapter 70 regarding the elected officials
The one that was passed this year?
on the 457 and the 401?
That's correct.
Okay, yeah, because there was two, is 457 for council and the 401 for the mayor. So you wanted to make a changes to
Yeah, so we could bring
the
back.
chapter, whatever chapter we.
Right. And the
Okay.
change would be to eliminate that. And at the same time, once we bring back that language in 2 weeks, hopefully, to have someone explain to us a little bit about what that benefit actually looks like. Because I don't think we had that conversation when it was first passed.
Okay,
Okay.
it was the 14% of total pay
Mhm.
for the mayor, and I want to say it was 7%,
Okay.
if I recall correctly,
Yeah.
of the council's total pay,
Yeah.
including the salary and the expense.
So we could talk
Right,
more.
it was both together, so it was the total package for the council.
Right,
Yeah.
So again, we want to, just like we did with the other council members thing, we want to get a sense of if the majority of the council
Yeah. So
supports bringing back those
It's just an
repeals
ordinance
is what
change.
it's an ordinance change, it's a repealer is what you're
Yes, sir.
suggesting, right?
Yeah. So I motion for that.
Second?
We got a motion and a second.
Through the chair.
Yes.
It's amazing what a campaign season will do to people who approved this just a few months ago. And now as a populist move, they want to disapprove it. So I'm okay with having clarification, whoever's nationwide, whoever's handling it, to make it exactly clear, because there's been a lot of misinformation out there as far as how much of a compensation we're getting. But to have this council that just approved it a few months ago, it was in April, now, as a populist campaign move, want to disapprove because it's gotten a lot of bad play on the media. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's a sincere and genuine effort to really save anybody any money. I'm making $3,000 a year, a little bit less than that, on the compensation they gave us. The entire council added together is $21,000 a year, not even, of compensation for a council that hasn't received a raise in decades. So I'm not going to vote for that.
Perfect. Thank you,
If
Council.
I may through the chair,
Yes, sir.
I guess that Councilman Zogby isn't campaigning. He's lucky enough that he doesn't have a campaign, so he's not door knocking. But when you go door knocking and you meet residents, they're not happy with that, Councilman. So maybe if you were out there door knocking and feeling out the environment, you would see that there's displeasure. And unfortunately, we campaigned and we did a huge press conference here in front of City Hall in January. I couldn't come because I was working, but that Doge was coming, right? And they were gonna come and they were gonna look at our finances. And now there's talk and scrutiny in the county level with Daniela Levine Cava that they haven't come. And maybe that budget could have been looked at, approved, and given some reassurance to the residents that what we're doing is right and legal. If that hasn't happened, and I just saw on the internet because I wasn't told, but that we filed an extension, right? We filed an extension that they're not coming yet. I don't know why we're not ready. We did that press conference in January. So maybe some people feel a little bit apprehensive and they want to reply to the residents. They want to show transparency. They want to show that, you know what? We don't know really if this is what you're not happy with. $3,000 isn't going to make it or break it to people that are sitting up here because we have careers. So if that's the displeasure of the community, that they're frowning upon us and saying what you're doing is wrong, then that's our job as elected officials to say $3,000 isn't enough of a heat for me to really have so many people upset because they're confused. And we didn't have a presentation. We didn't have anybody here that spoke to the residents and said what they're doing isn't wrong. Yes, our city attorney said it, but they don't feel comfortable with that. So you're lucky enough that you haven't had to really have those conversations that are pretty uncomfortable with residents.
Through the chair.
Through the chair. Oh, excuse me.
I've been knocking on doors. I've had conversations with residents. Not one has mentioned this to me, but I don't have a problem with
Some
whatever you
people
guys
say
want to
things
do.
behind your back, Mayor. So
I don't have a problem with whatever you guys want to do, because regardless, we all voted on it. And when we voted on it, I was a council member as well. Regarding Doge, I was the one that brought the resolution and invited them to come and do the audit. And once again, I am inviting them to come. We didn't ask for an extension for them to come and audit. We had requested an extension to send them the financials that they asked for. And regardless, before they even approved or disapproved or whatever they're going to do, because they never got back to us, we already sent them. They have all the information that they needed from us. And I am requesting them to come out because I want to see if they take that reverse osmosis debt that we have.
I would have loved
Ruth,
to
you
have
wanted to
gotten that
speak?
information prior to today's meeting. Thank
You wanted to
you.
speak, Elsa? Ruth?
No, I just wanted to clarify that we did respond to the Doge financials. We requested an extension, like most cities basically in Florida, because we received it 3 days, but we received a letter to provide 4 years of financials within the next 3 to 4 days. And it was impossible for us to put that together at the same time that we're putting a budget together, at the same time that we're basically implementing a new ERP system. So we did request an extension to August 29th. However, last week we submitted our financials to the state, and we're waiting on the audit. They have started auditing. They started with the city of Jacksonville, and they've completed that audit. So we're expecting any day to get a call.
Respectfully, if we could remain maybe with that timeline of information, because people are asking us. And we do see this at the county level on a more serious note. So therefore, it does trickle down to the municipalities. So if anyone could inform us on the steps, it would be great because people ask us.
Noted.
Thank you.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Just again, just to clear it up, Councilman Zogby, just for us to have the conversation, I'd like to have someone from Nationwide also give us a presentation on it, and then we can have that discussion at the next council meeting. And just for the record, I voted no on that item last time. So, all right. So we have a Councilman.
We got a motion?
Second. Yes.
We got a second. Please take roll.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Nope.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay.
So this again will be to bring back legislation to consider and
Presentation.
and the presentation is, well, it's going to be, that's within the consultant to give.
Right, okay, next item, please.
Will all those persons who will be testifying on an item, please stand and raise your right hand.
Las personas que quisieran prestar sus opiniones delante de esta junta, por favor, pónganse de pie y alcen la mano derecha.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. If so, say I do.
¿Usted jura o afirma que el testimonio que va a dar será la verdad, toda la verdad y únicamente la verdad y que Dios sea su testigo? Por favor, diga que sí si la respuesta es afirmativa.
Let the record reflect that all have responded in the affirmative.
En el archivo público constará que todos han respondido afirmativamente.
Thank you.
Through the council,
Yes.
President, if I may, I think this is out of order, but I just want to bring up that I believe that Attorney Luciano Isla is here, and I believe that he had come on the solid waste item that already passed. I don't know if you want me to say, because he called me about the item today and said that
I'm sorry.
his clients were fine with it. So I just telling you.
Got it. Next item, please. Start. Thank you.
Land use item 15A, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from low density residential to medium density residential. Property located at 29 East 16th Street, Hialeah, zoned R2, 1 and 2 family residential district and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. So this item's on second read.
Sorry. Item for second reading. Any comments or questions from the public? Can I get a motion? Or any comments from the council? I'm sorry.
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Hey, second.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Oh,
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item Land Use 15B, first reading of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from residential office to commercial. Property located at 705 East 8th Avenue, Hialeah, zoned RO Residential Office District and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, items in second reading?
No,
Okay,
sir, this is first read.
First reading, I'm sorry. Item first reading, any comments or questions from the board? Council? Can I get a motion?
motion.
Got a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Yes.
Mr. Zogby.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 26, 2025.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Next item.
Land use item 15C, first reading of proposed ordinance amending the future land use map from low density residential to transit oriented development district. Property located at 924 East 23rd Street, Hialeah, zoned R1, 1 family district and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, items in first reading. Do we have any comments or questions from the board? Council? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Please take roll.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor,
Is out?
Mr. Tumidor is away. Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 26, 2025.
Thank you.
Next item.
Zoning item 16A. Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R2, 1 and 2 Family Residential District to R33, Multiple Family District, granting a variance permit to allow a rear setback of 17 feet where 20 feet are required, allow an interior west side setback of 4.8 feet where 10 feet are required, allow an interior east side setback of 6.5 feet where 10 feet are required, allow 0 feet drainage separation at the west side of the property where 2 feet drainage separation is required, allow lot coverage of 44% where 30% is the maximum allowed, allow a 3.2-foot setback from the right-of-way for the dumpster enclosure where 10 feet is required, and to allow 25% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-591, 98-590, 3-5, subsection H, 98-316, subsection 3, 78-108, subsection C1, and 98-2056, subsection B1. Property located at 29 East 16th Street, Hialeah, zoned R2, 1 and 2 Family Residential District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Items for second reading. Any public comments or questions? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Got a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Yeah, please take roll.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor is still away. Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Zoning item 16B, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a variance permit to allow a lot width of 50 feet where 75 feet is a minimum required, allow a total lot area of 6,400 square feet where 7,500 square feet is a minimum required, allow one of the parking spaces to be located at the front setback where parking in the front setback is not allowed, allow a 2.6-foot landscape buffer where minimum of 7 feet is required, allow a 10-foot wide two-way direction access way where a 20-foot wide two-way direction access way is required, and allow 18% pervious area where 20% is the minimum required. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-779, 98-782, 98-2188, subsection AB, 98-781, subsection 5, and in contrast to Hialeah Landscape Manual dated December 13th, 2022, section E entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Property located at 520 East 49th Street, Hialeah, zoned RO, Residential Office District, and legally described in Exhibit A, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Got it. Items open for second reading. Any public comments or question?
Motion.
Got a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Got it. Please take roll.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor is away. Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Nice seeing you again, Mr. Paz.
Thank you very much.
Next item, please.
Zoning item 16C, second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a conditional use permit pursuant to the City of Hialeah Code of Ordinances, section 98-181, to allow a kindergarten class with a maximum capacity of 26 students, property located at 3300 East 4th Avenue, units 9 through 10, Hialeah Zone C2 Liberal Retail Commercial District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. Second reading.
Second reading. Any comments or questions from the public? Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I got a motion. Can I get a second? Second.
Second.
I got it. Please take roll.
Mr. Tumidor is away. Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Second reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance granting a special use permit to allow the operation of a solid waste intermodal rail facility in conjunction with the existing solid waste collection operated by Waste Connections of Florida pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-161, granting a variance permit to allow the expansion of a legal non-conforming use established within the M1 Industrial District zoning district and allow 6.6% pervious area where 10% is the minimum required, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-377, subsection A, and in contrast to the Hialeah Landscape Manual dated December 13, 2022, Section E, entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification. Properties located at 4150 Northwest 37th Court, 4170 Northwest 37th Court, 4180 Northwest 37th Court, 4204 Northwest 37th Court, 3757 Northwest 38th Street, 3828 Northwest 37th Court, 4100 Northwest 37th Court, and 4070 Northwest 37th Court, Hialeah, zoned M1 Industrial District, and legally described in Exhibit A, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Item's open for second reading and is open for public hearing. Comments?
Good evening, Jose Alzi, 788 Southeast Park Drive. I want to give a little history of this project. This came up with you the second time because the first time it was done illegally. And I did share it with the lobbyist and she went and proceeded anyways illegally because they tried to keep it quiet without the business owners knowing what's going on. Luckily, we have two major projects coming up in that area. And I got the answer. The lobbyist, Ms. Melissa Tarp, said many times in planning and zoning and city council meetings that the trucks will be sealed. But I've asked for the final covenant. I haven't got it yet. I have two questions that are really important because the business owners are still, everybody's up in the air. One is, she said twice in the planning and zoning city council that the trucks, the containers will be sealed. Is that in the final covenant? And the second question is, the Waste Connection is going to be allowed to increase 20% every time they do a traffic study. So if they do a traffic study once a year, within 5 years, it's going to be double the size. So it would have been nice to hear this like a public meeting, and because this is some trash receptacles, trash processing is such a big concern for everybody. So the first question is it in the covenant? Is it in the covenant that the containers will be sealed? And if they break that covenant 5 times, will they lose the license? And the second question is, they're going to be allowed to increase 20% every time they do a traffic study. But how many times can they be increased 20%? So on behalf of the business owners, to them very large, and our residents, those are the two questions that hopefully this gets clarified.
Thank you.
I motion.
If I may, through the chair.
Yes.
Good evening, Ms. Tapanes. Can we address the two questions, please?
Yes, the declaration of restrictions does include the operation plan, and the issue with the 20% is simply if we increase the volume of waste by 20%, we need to submit a traffic analysis, and then it's up to the zoning administrator whether it's a substantial deviation from this approval, and then it's up to that zoning administrator whether we come back to council. That's definitely the intent. And I'd ask as part of the motion to include the acceptance of the covenant, which everyone has reviewed. And
Yes.
and I'll just point for the record that the answers to Mr. Ozzy's questions are in writing and have been shared with everyone.
I'll take my time back. I have 20 minutes.
This is
20
not,
seconds. I'll take my-
Yes, that's fine.
Sir,
Take the
sir,
time.
sir.
get away from me.
I'll give it to you too.
Move,
Please.
get out of my space.
Ozzy, I had called her up
Coffee.
to answer the two questions because you sat down. So I had called her up to answer the two questions that you had asked.
She didn't have, she dodged it.
So Melissa, just finish there and go.
Thank you.
Okay,
And I would ask for Mr. Ozzy to mind his space.
Yes.
Before I punch him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I,
My
If I
quick
may-
question is, sorry.
if I
Real
may,
quick, real quick. My two questions were, are all the containers gonna be sealed? They weren't answered, they're vague. They're vague with the business owner. She denied answering the question again. Are the containers, all of them gonna be sealed? Just as she stated in the planning and zoning, she stated in the city council. If they violate it 5 times, will they lose the license?
So give me,
The second question is, they're gonna be allowed to increase 20%. How many times can they increase 20%? Those were my two questions that were not answered. So Ms. Fred and all of you, I appreciate.
Claudia, can I please call you up, please?
so, I'm sorry, you calling somebody, Monica?
Yeah,
Yeah. so-
if I may, through
Yeah.
the chair?
Yeah.
I was just,
Got it.
I know.
By the way, she did a presentation on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Claudia, I just want to make sure, in the covenant, we saw the presentation, we know the process of the containers. We know that the process is they drive in and they're covered, right?
Correct,
They cannot sit on property uncovered.
correct.
To clarify our residents' concern, is that wording written in the covenant?
Just
Is-
for the sake of clarity.
Yes or no? It's
Yes.
written? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, if it's not written, can you please show him a copy of the covenant where that is written? Not now, but when we're finished talking, show him in the covenant where it's written that the containers are covered, number one. And number two, the increase of the 20%. When I visited the property and I spoke and I saw, how this operation was going to be. For one, I saw it as a benefit because it's no longer going to be exposed. It is currently completely exposed.
Correct.
They try their best to have those operations of the spray, to remain keeping the scent in, to remain keeping any pest out, correct? So now it's going to be completely sealed, right? The minute it comes onto the property. The linear footage that is aligned to the property for the tri-rail, right? For the rail that goes by only holds a certain amount of containers.
That's correct.
Therefore, they can only have, if it is, I believe it was stacked 6 in total, right? 3 on the bottom and 3 on the top. We cannot approve an increase of 20% because their operation can't continue increasing because the footage of the train does not allow for an increase, right?
Most likely correct.
So therefore, the only way that we would be able to approve a 20% increase is if this property owner purchases the adjacent property next door and expands his operation, because now he will have a larger portion of that tri-rail. Correct me if I'm wrong, Claudia? Because right now,
you're
you can't
correct.
increase it. You wouldn't approve it and we can't approve it because he cannot function.
Any modification, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but any modification will have to be in front of you, in front of our planning and zoning division with a new site plan, with a new application. So it's not something that is going to be administratively if they just go and increase it. The declaration is specified clearly that if they're seeking an increase, that is the procedure that they need to follow. That is not an automatic, granted approval for it. And also for the containers, I just want to make sure the trucks are going to be tarped getting into the site with
Yeah.
a tarp. The containers will be sealed on site.
Step one, after they drive in,
Correct.
is they're automatically
Start.
sealed. They're
Yeah.
not going to be parked. They drive in and there's already a flow of operation. There's like, it's not even a queue. The queue is the line. They're not allowed to be parked. The minute they drive in, it gets sealed with the metal container. Then the container sits on property until that operation comes, until the train comes. They load the 6 containers that they have allotted to the side of their property, right?
That's correct. And we even put a limitation on the hours.
So
If-
therefore, the
yes.
site plan for them to operate could not function with an increase of 20% because that rail could only hold 6 containers, for example, right? What's the amount of containers? I'm sorry, sir. I keep on saying 6 and I don't want to be quoted incorrectly.
That's correct. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah,
too.
before I continue, Ms. Toppin, what is the amount of containers? Because I keep on saying 6, but I don't know if I'm incorrect. Correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Good evening, Council.
evening.
Grant Smith with Waste Connections. So the amount of cars filled with sealed cars filled that we would be able to store at any one time would be no more than 13.
13.
Because as soon as they come in, they're sealed and they're put on the rail. Because of, somebody, I don't remember who it was, mentioned the linear feet.
Right.
We only have a certain amount of linear feet to store the rail cars, the things with the wheels, not the containers.
Okay.
And so, but each car takes 4 containers.
Oh, got it.
And so we can only fit, I think it's 10 rail cars,
Okay.
maybe 13 rail cars at a time. And
At a
that's
time.
it. That's all. We just don't have. that
We
much-
cannot, so as the operation exists right now, there cannot be an increase of 20% because your linear rail allows only for 13 containers.
No,
So
13 cars.
13 cars.
Correct.
So right now we cannot do an increase because you haven't purchased an adjacent property next door.
Correct. And
So,
if we did, we would come to you for approval.
okay.
If we had any amendments that would go over what you're allotting to us now and what Durham allots to us,
Right.
we would come to you for approval.
So is there a reason why that wording is even there to increase by 20%? What was the purpose of adding that? Because I don't remember that being there.
Right. So I think it was just there to a check and balance. Yeah, it has to do with our permit with Miami-Dade County with Durham. And it was a check and balance that we agreed not to grow more than that without coming back to this council for a policy decision that we could.
Okay,
That's it.
got it. Pepper, you're okay? You understand? Okay, sir. All right, Claudia, and just if you could show Pepper and so that he knows. Got it? All right, thank you, Ms. Toppinus. I appreciate it. And thank you, Grant. I appreciate your clarity.
Okay, we got a motion. Can I have a second?
Yes, motion.
We got a motion first. and a second.
Second.
Hold on, where is, I forgot my, I didn't see your name. Sorry.
Where were you when I needed you?
I called him. I called him. I said, you're not gonna have a problem.
We'll take Bridget.
Have personal space that I protect.
All right.
My personal space.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I apologize for the confusion. Thank you. There's, I motioned.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's okay, Marbelis. Take your time. You don't got nowhere to go.
Marbellis, we got a first and a
I
second.
have police protection now. It's all good.
I was actually getting your answer regarding when the video of Ozzy was sent to the council, August 5th at 3:41.
341. Got it.
Thank you. We got a
So we have a motion by?
Zogby and a second by Monica. By Perez. Ms. Perez, sorry.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Tumidor is still away. Motion carries. The item is
Thank you.
approved.
Appreciate it.
Next item, please. Next item.
Zoning item 16E, first reading of proposed ordinance granting a special use permit to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay in relation to a proposed mixed-use development including 32 residential units and approximately 3,520 square feet of commercial space pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-161, granting a variance permit to allow 56 parking spaces where 77 parking spaces are required, allow 21% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required, and allow a partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per Section 98-2235. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-2189, subsection 4J, and 98-2056, subsection B1. Properties located at 901 East Second Avenue and 925 East Second Avenue, Hialeah, zoned CR, Commercial Residential District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, items of first reading, pleasure of the council.
Motion.
Got a motion on my left. Can Can I get a second, please? Second. We don't have a
If
second?
there's no second, the motion dies.
Motion fails for lack of a second.
Miss, and can I just ask through the chair, Miss,
Yes.
can we ask Miss Edna, because I know this was at council last meeting and we asked her to go back. Was there any changes?
There's been
Okay,
several
do you wanna-
changes, that's what I wanted to correct.
Okay.
Due to the parking was reduced, 65 parking spots are required, not 77, because we reduced the commercial space from 3,500 to 1,760, and we included amenities for our residents. So that's one thing. It's 56 where 65 is required only. So we only need 65 parking spaces. And also, we had agreed with the declaration of restriction that we would include a management company have assigned parking spots in order to avoid any negative impact of the parking, because we're short 9 parking spots as opposed to 21. So we reduced the commercial area, included amenities for our residents, and only 65 parking spots are required. We agreed to a management company and have assigned parking spots such that, for example, we have 1,290 square feet apartments, 8 of them. We will give them 2 parking spots, that's 16. The other 24 units are 1,000 square feet, we will give them 1 parking spot. So that's 16 and 24 is 40. And we have between the second and the third floor, we have 40 parking spots. On the first floor, we have 60, where only 8 are required for the commercial spaces, since the balance of the space is being used for resident amenities. So that's been changed. It's not 77, it's only 65 required. I believe that was the only change.
Okay.
Through the
So-
chair,
Yeah, granted.
Yes, excuse me. That's another issue that Ms. Perez, we had the discussion the last time. We have agreed also to commit 2 units for affordable housing. And we also agreed that we would give City of Hialeah employees right of first refusal on those applications for affordable housing. So we're giving 2 units for affordable housing, and City of Hialeah employees would have right of first refusal for these housing apartments. It's 32 units and commercial downstairs plus the amenities. And I really think that this is a great advantageous opportunity for the City of Hialeah to have this building there, really, on 9th Street. 9th Street is growing. Mr. Cogsby, last time I was here, you spoke about the buildings in the area that were higher than 7 floors. Within a 5-block radius, let me give you these numbers, these addresses. Within a 5-block radius, we have 5 buildings that are 8 floors and more. Give me a second, okay? We have 555 East First Avenue. That is 4 blocks from our property. We have 70 East 70th Street, again, 4 blocks from our property. 370 East First Avenue, 5 blocks from our property. And then there were 150 East First Avenue, just to let you know that there are other buildings. Not even speaking about the one on Hialeah Drive and East 4th Avenue, which is a humongous building that has like a whole showroom downstairs, and the one that's by the Tri-Rail, all the 24th, 25, 26th Street. Pretty big. I mean, Hialeah is growing. We have to face that. I've been here for 45, 46 years. My oldest son is 46, and Hialeah has grown exponentially. Also, within Miami-Dade County, Hialeah has the lowest vacancy rate right now. You need the apartments, obviously. You know, we need apartments, and people want to move to Hialeah, so we should allow them to move by allowing this building.
Thank you, ma'am. We don't do radiuses of 5 blocks. We do 500-foot radius when considering variances, petitions for variances. May I speak to please, one moment, to my zoning director,
Yes.
our zoning director? Claudia, the variance is asking to allow 56 parking spaces where 77 are required. The math that I just heard doesn't add up to that. Which is it? Is this wrong or?
It's not wrong, but since the moment that the project actually was advertised, as she mentioned, she had amended the plans. So actually, they removed from the ground floor an area that it was designated for a restaurant. So they removed that area and they proposed it for amenities for the residents. So that is the number of parking requirements that is decreased. So it's only the 66 parking spaces that are required.
Okay, amenities, I understand amenities, but, and a restaurant would occupy or need more parking space, but
Correct.
amenities are not parking spaces, though.
That's correct.
And the neighborhood is surrounded by residential homes, and I'm afraid that the overspill, there'll be parking and people's swales. 1,000-foot apartment, one car, 1,000-foot apartment is a very, very large apartment, and one vehicle. I'm sorry, Claudia, go ahead. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm afraid of, the people around there. I mean, it isn't the height. It's the height plus where it is. And it doesn't, and we go with a 500-foot radius when we're considering that. And it's going to overspill. It's going to overspill into the neighbors. And then there's nothing we're going to be able to do about that. And we ourselves have helped create this nuisance in the neighborhood. I'm sorry. Go ahead, ma'am. Yeah, of course.
Okay, we've also agreed to do,
Speak to the mic.
we've also agreed to redo the sidewalks, both on 9th Street and 2nd Avenue, so that there will be no parking on the swale, sir. There will be no parking on the swale. We have sufficient parkings, and you say 1,000 square feet because we're being very generous with our apartments. It's only a 2-bedroom. It's 1,000 square feet, but it's not 900, 800 the way most apartments are. We have 1,000 square feet, but it's only a 2-bedroom apartment, sir.
No, that's fine. It's a wonderful size. The thing
is a
is, on two
beautiful
bedrooms,
size.
2 bedrooms could have many tenants living inside of it. And the sidewalk that you're going to improve, I'm not talking about your swale. I understand what you're saying, but the improving of the sidewalk, of the swale into a sidewalk does not belong to you. Other people are going to be able to park there. So it doesn't give you that extra street side parking necessarily. That's the concern here.
No, it's not giving us, it's just to prevent people from parking on the swale is what I'm saying. There
Not
will
your
be no
swale. I'm talking about the neighbor's swales, not your swale. If they parked only on your swale, that's something. If you can
Okay,
live with
Mr.
that.
Godsby, sir.
It's the neighbors that could be affected.
Okay, I understand you think that one parking spot for a 2-bedroom is not sufficient. Would be for a young family with a child maybe that doesn't drive. So, I mean, I understand that we also have, one of the amenities is going to be parking for scooters and everything. So we are not far from the Tri-Rail and the Metro Rail. There's 2 buses that run right in front of that property. So public transportation is on the move with the younger generation, the millennials and the Gen Zs. So public transportation is an option. As far as the parking is concerned, I believe that we have enough because we have 40 parking spots for residential. We have 16 on the first floor where we only need 8. And we're going to assign parking spots. It's going to be part of our policy, rules, and addendums to our leases. So our tenants cannot park outside of the of that, and any negative impact obviously will incur penalties upon the residents. Any negative impact that the city of Hialeah brings to our attention would obviously, then be addressed with our tenants, severely addressed.
I understand what you're saying. It's never worked out in the past. There's no way we can enforce that. Once we approve of this, there's no way we can enforce that. And yes, 2 bedrooms of 1,000 square feet is where several people can live. I haven't seen a couple with a child with only one car live in an apartment that big. I wish they would, but it doesn't happen anymore. That's what I'm concerned of. If you had more parking spaces, the 7 stories wouldn't matter. A 2-bedroom should have 2 spaces per unit. That's just the way I feel. And
Excuse me, sir. According to your own charter, your own ordinances, up to 1,000 square feet, you only need 1.5 parking spots per unit. So per 1,000 square feet, so not 2. 1.5.
Then you wouldn't be needing a variance if that was the case. You're obviously, well, you're asking for a variance so that you wouldn't be here for that variance, for the parking variance, if that were the case.
Well, what I'm saying is because in totality, we need 65. That's why we're asking for the variance, because 1.5 for 1,000, we have 24 units that are 1,000. So 1.5 times 24 would be 36, and we're only allowing for 24 of them for one parking spot. We're missing that 0.5, sir.
I understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, if it's okay with the council, my name is Jeremy Rodriguez, 1450 Lincoln Road, Miami Beach, Florida, 33139. Just to piggyback off of what she's saying, we are trying to adhere to the parking situation. That's why we're hoping by designating parking spaces that we can maybe get ahead of the curve. Maybe something that would please the council and the city of Hialeah. We put in a declaration of a towing company. If say residents have an issue, they can call a tow number. As well as maybe even going as far as the mechanical installation of parking spaces, elevators. I don't know, maybe that would be something that could help alleviate the council's concerns with parking in that area. This is the truth of the matter. That is downtown Hialeah. That's going to be downtown Hialeah, whether it's in 10 years, 15 years, 30 years, 40 years. Hoping to give the city council and the city a template of future developers to follow, where they can go through a process where they're encouraged to develop their properties, a property.
I understand.
Mr. Cox,
Parking
one last.
is the issue. It's not the density. And secondly, the law does not allow for a resident in the neighborhood to call a tow company. That's not going to be able to be included in this if they have a car parked on their swale. That is a public right of way. And double stacking, that could be cost prohibitive, but if you're willing to do that, otherwise.
The stackers the stackers in the parking garage wouldn't be a viable solution?
I'm talking about those overspill who would spill out into the local homes in front of their swale areas. That you can never enforce by towing, so that the neighbors will be helpless if that happens.
My suggestion was, could we have those, those double stacks that they have in some towing areas where there's one car on top of the other? We could use some of those.
Well, that's not in this here. I understand, but that's not included in your request here.
I'm saying that that's a solution.
Yes, ma'am.
Just to clarify that, that stacker that is designed is considered a tandem parking because you're gonna have to go over a parking space to park at secondary car, and that is not permitted under our zoning code.
Well, that's.
Through the chair.
Yes.
So just to clarify, we have 56 parking spaces where 65.
That is correct.
That's correct, right? And this is because what was going to be the restaurant,
We've eliminated.
we eliminated it, and it is now for utilities. And so
For
therefore, we don't
amenities.
need parking spaces because there's no restaurant.
Correct.
I will say, and we've seen you here a couple times, and I
thought their time was gonna be the charm.
It's okay. And I truly, I feel like the passion that you guys have and Etna, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And being a family project, I mean, I really want to give you the chance on this project. I don't know how my colleagues feel, but I think you have tried working with us, because every time you come back, kind of trying to edit, right, what or modify what we've given to you. So
Sorry. We changed our plans when Ms. Perez had the concerns about the parking originally, and I understand it was a 21-car variance. Now we're at 9 parking spots variance, so.
And parking here in Hialeah is an issue. So
It's
I do understand Councilman Zogby's concern because it is a real
It's
big
valid.
issue. But Claudia, so right, as our director, it has here that you are recommending approval, correct?
That's
So
correct.
This is a good project for the city.
We looked at, as you mentioned, Ms. Edna has worked with the department. Also, it was their conditions actually stipulated because similar concerns that were also raised during the planning and zoning board. There were other ideas thrown into the concept, and they were removed because probably those solutions in Hialeah wouldn't work. So definitely, we see that she's committed to developing that area.
So, Claudia, as you can see, we don't have a motion second, it's gonna die. My question is, you have an understanding what we're looking for. Is there anything else that you have to offer her another time? Not now.
We can continue actually working with it. Exactly. Mhm.
Okay, so by not passing right now, that,
So the council, it's similar to last time. The council hasn't taken final action on this. The matter remains pending unless actually you have a motion either to approve it or conversely deny it.
okay,
And there's no finality to it, so it's still there. You might want to bring it back either at a date and time certain, or if it's deferred indefinitely and you don't have a date and time certain announced, then you've got to renotice it and so forth. So,
If it made through the chair though?
yes, ma'am.
When we took the vote, we really hadn't heard the modifications, the clarity. She really hadn't been able to explain
Yeah.
their point. There was still some concerns on the application. So I think if maybe we could guide them the right way. Right?
That's my
Um,
process too.
So right now, maybe
Oh, Claudia, oh, sorry.
Well, right now, I think is maybe the amenities or, that floor that they are considering retail or whatever, maybe they have to modify that to help them.
And
Would that be an
just
option that we could offer them?
as a point of clarification, is the main issue the parking variance?
So right now, it's how many floors after they minimize?
It is the parking? Because remember, the project has, 7
there's
floors,
layers.
exactly, it's layers, different layers. So if we know that we are working with that issue, which is parking, there are multiple solutions that we can bring into the table. So I just want to make sure. However, if that is going to be the main issue, I will suggest that actually we withdraw this application and she present a new application, because that variance, the parking variance, will be eliminated. But definitely we'll have to work into, back into the drawing board to eliminate that.
I know that putting these plans together costs a lot of money, going to attorneys, going to architects and engineers. That's a process they've already invested in. And like Councilwoman De La Vega said, this is a family. They're trying to bring a good project. We want to help them. So if maybe we don't make them go back, starting from scratch.
No,
maybe we
not
can
not
kind of.
back, right, not going back through zero.
Mhm.
But since we have already noticed the parking variance, and that is my concern. So if that project eliminates that variant request, that parking variant request, then is that the main issue with this application? So we can work and we can target specifically that.
Yeah, I'm through the chair. We have approved tall buildings in neighborhoods that are surrounded by not tall structures. So me personally, yes, if we can solve the parking issue,
Got it.
I would be okay with I'm one vote with the 7 stories there, because it will eventually develop into that, and that's I'm okay with that.
So in terms of, my only comment is that in terms of renoticing and all of that, it's always been my impression that if you're deleting or diminishing something that is requested, that is not problematic. The problem is going like a variance from 56 to 66 spaces, but certainly not reducing it or eliminating it. Okay?
Okay, understood. So do you understand that we'll have to go back to the drawing board to actually find a way to eliminate the parking variance? Okay.
We have to help and guide them.
Okay.
Is it the height? Is it the parking? We want to guide them the right way so we don't waste their time.
So we're in agreement that it's just the parking.
I think the height is massive, the parking
Yes.
is minimum. So those two things still are something that, that I'm still, but I want to work with them. I want them to be able to bring this project. I don't want to knock it down. And I want to make it in a way that they're not spending thousands of dollars now again, going to the drawing board. So however we could help them and
Definitely.
guide them.
Yeah.
I think maybe if I reduce the size of my apartments.
Yeah, it's up to the professional planners and so forth, but might I
Correct.
recommend you not do it, if I may, not at the next meeting or you
Correct.
have the
Yes.
same.
Correct.
You put this at some time in the future, well, they will have a reasonable period of time to do this. And again,
To the
Claudia, all I can tell you legally is if you're going down
Okay.
and removing, the issues are not there with
perfect.
doing the opposite.
For the first meeting in September?
That's,
Maybe the second?
Yeah.
Okay.
second be perfect.
Second meeting in September. Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have a motion to,
Postpone until September 23rd.
gotcha. Okay.
Correct, at 5:30, right.
Gotcha. Can I have a motion?
Motion for the.
Can I have a second? Second to postpone to the 23rd.
Second.
You got a first and a second.
Ms. De La Vega? Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Tunidor is away. Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is postponed until September 23rd, 2025 at 5:30 PM.
Next item, please.
Zoning item 16F, first reading of proposed ordinance repealing and rescinding City of Hialeah ordinance number 2011-16 attached here to as Exhibit A, rezoning property from RO Residential Office District to B1 Highly Restricted Retail District, granting a variance permit to allow a front setback of 6 feet where 20 feet are required, allow street side setback of 5.5 feet where 10 feet are required, and to allow 12 parking spaces where 13 parking spaces are required, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances sections 98-929, 98-2088 subsection B, and 98-2189 subsection C, property located at 705 East 8th Avenue, Hialeah, Zone RO, Residential Office District, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Item first reading. And pleasure of the board. please.
Motion.
Got a motion? Can I get a second? Can I get a second?
Second.
I got a first and a second.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Ms. Perez? Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes.
I believe Mr. Tunidor is absent.
Yeah.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 26, 2025.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Item 16H, first reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R3 Multiple Family District to R35 Multiple Family District, granting,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, did I skip one? I'm sorry, I did. I apologize. Item
He's been waiting quietly.
16G, first reading of proposed ordinance repealing and rescinding City of Hialeah ordinance number 2024-040, attached here to as Exhibit A, granting a special use permit to allow the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay in relation to a proposed multifamily development including 39 residential units. Pursuant to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, Section 98-161, granting a variance permit to allow 39 multifamily units, 100% with an area less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is a minimum required, and only 25% of residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. Allow residential use only where mixed use is required. Allow residential use on the ground floor where residential use is only allowed above the ground floor. Allow 25% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required. Allow a partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235, and to release the existing declaration of restrictive covenants recorded in Official Records Book 34239, page 2016 of the Public Records of Miami-Dade County, Florida. All in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-637, subsection 3A, 98-1614, subsection B, and 98-2056, subsection B1. Property located at 308 East 9th Street, 330 East 9th Street, and 342 East 9th Street. Hialeah Zone CR, Commercial residential district and legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. First reading, pleasure of the council.
Motion.
Got a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Please take roll.
Ms. Perez, Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Zogby,
Yes.
Mr. Junco,
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega.
Thank you.
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 26, 2025.
Gave permission myself. What is it? H. I'm sorry.
First reading of proposed ordinance rezoning property from R3 Multiple Family District to R35 Multiple Family District, granting a variance permit to allow a front setback of 10 feet where 25 feet are required for the ground floor, allow a front setback of 7 feet where 25 feet are required for balconies fronting West Second Avenue, allow an interior south setback of 5 feet where 10 feet are required, allow a street side setback of 5.75 feet where 15 feet are required, allow a lot coverage of 41% where 30% is the maximum allowed, allow a 2-foot landscape buffer fronting West 27th Street where a minimum 7-foot buffer is required, and allow 8 parking spaces where 10 parking spaces are required, all in contrast to Hialeah Code of Ordinances, sections 98-589, 98-590, 98-2189, subsection 19B, and sections E entitled Tree and Lawn Requirements by Zoning Classification, and D7 entitled Shrubs, Vines, Ground Covers, Mulch, Buffers, Plant Quality, Storm Water Reduction plus Detection Areas, Native Species, and Landscape Mitigation of the Hialeah Landscape Manual updated July of 2025. Property located at 190 West 27th Street, Hialeah, zoned R3, multiple family district, and legally described herein. Repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. First reading, pleasure of the council.
If I may,
Yes,
through the
ma'am.
Chair.
Yes.
Claudia, can you come up and give us a little bit of clarity?
This lot is basically requesting a rezoning. It's 5,361 square feet. So for the request of the rezoning, it's going to the R35, which is the highest, density for that district. It's going to be a 3-story, 4-unit building. So there are units on the ground and the second and the third level. They have a parking variance where there are 8 parking spaces provided and they need 10 parking spaces. The ratio is different from the application that we just reviewed because this is a different zoning district that the previous application is located. They are
Repeat that sentence that you just said. The what?
that the zoning district, this is a different zoning district that the application than the zoning district, the application that we just discussed. So when we were talking about, the 1.5 parking requirements for the multifamily, this one is in a different zoning district. So they required parking spaces, 2 per bedroom plus guests. Okay.
Right.
So it is an additional that this district requires. The
requirement would be 10 and they're at 8.
And there are 8, exactly. And there are 4 units, so technically they can have 2 parking spaces per unit. It is a corner lot between West 2nd Avenue and West 27th Street. They have multifamily surrounding the area as well, so it's compatible with the area of the neighborhood.
The area has 2-story buildings.
Correct.
Nearby, I don't see any that are 3.
Within the 500 radius?
I don't see any.
Let me see what they're planning.
Let me look here. The backdoor neighbor is multifamily, or it's in between.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is multifamily. It's R3.
Yeah. In front of them is a daycare.
In front of them will be which front of it, towards the north or towards the west?
This is a daycare.
Yeah. Toward the west is a commercial.
It's here in the front. A rehab center? Is a rehab center across the street? I don't see any building that's 3 stories. I only see 2 stories max.
The zoning district allows for, 3 stories as well. As I said, between 2 to 3, that is, within the regulations.
But if they minimize one of the heights, then they could comply with their parking variance for that area. It's already very congested.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Sorry, come.
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead. But I'm still analyzing.
I think today has been a good meeting where we've discussed especially about parking. I think especially, door knocking, you realize how many parking spots we are short, right? So is there a way for this project to just be completely compliance with parking?
We can definitely go back to the drawing board and modify the density of the project, which will require less parking. That is always an option.
Yeah, I just,
To the off-street parking, it's making it nice.
yeah. And
That is
so I just,
the
just kind of to bring it up, right, as we go approving more projects, which are great, right, for our city, but we continue to approve variances for parking, right, there's gonna be less and less, which, is obviously causing, yes. So if that would be my feedback on this item, please.
Okay.
Through the chair, just as a procedural point, I didn't know of the council. I understand the council making comments and various suggestions. Did you have the applicant through a representative here, and it would be customary that
Yeah, but.
you hear from them if,
Yep.
before you, yes.
Got it. Yes,
Hi.
please.
My name is Vanessa Bertrand, 45 Almeria Avenue on behalf of the applicant. We've worked diligently with the building department to make sure that there is sufficient parking for all of the units. And then we've also accommodated some off-street or some side street parking, which I know doesn't accommodate to the actual building itself, but we are trying to deal with any type of parking issues that would come into place in the property itself. We do believe that the building or with the structure that we're trying to comply with aligns the vision with the city's 2050 master plan, which is kind of the intent from the beginning of it, was to bring in, additional to bring in more tenants to occupy the property and such, but we do not believe that it'll impact negatively on any of the neighboring properties when it comes to parking, because remember, it's not only them, but it's parking spaces for guests as well. So it accommodates for a little bit extra parking, not just for the residents themselves.
So if I may through the
Yeah.
chair, I concur. I think that if maybe we could modify the project without requesting the parking variance, if that means minimizing the units, if that means, however it is that you would feel comfortable, maybe we could sit down with Claudia and modify that so that it makes the requirement. I would be okay moving forward.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I don't know what that looks like. Would it be reducing that 3rd story to minimize the top 2 units and then making it only 4 units instead of 6?
I have the architect here. Can I just ask her really
Yes, I'm
quickly?
here.
Sorry.
She's
That's
important.
beyond my scope on this one.
You're the one to make that
The
happen.
architect should come forward, identify yourself, your business address, and respond to the question, please. Thank you.
She's not very confident in English, so should I translate? for her? Oh, she's, okay.
Primero su número. Tell her, Luis. So she could be on the map.
Lo que estamos pensando que quizás algunos de los,
Dile tu nombre primero.
ya, Shelly Cárdenas.
Y dirección, perdón.
La dirección.
Ajá,
Direction.
de 301 Southwest, 27 Avenida, Miami, Florida, 33145.
Thank you.
Para reducir, ellos tienen planes de reducir los parqueos.
Sí, lo que vamos a hacer es quitar cuartos para no perder la
So
figura
what
que
we
tiene el
can-
edificio.
So what she's saying is that we can just modify the, one of the units to reduce the square footage, just to reduce the need for that second, the two parking spaces.
Yeah, so the council member, one of the concerns was the height also, Ms. Perez? Yes. Yeah.
Y una de las cosas que ya
Claudia.
estamos es el.
I'm sorry.
And just also as a point of clarification, and I'm going to say it in Spanish, la reducción de un cuarto no necesariamente te va a reducir un requerimiento de parqueo. Tendrías que reducir una unidad completa para que no tengas que tener una variante. Y como también hay objetividad, hay problemas con la altura, tendrías que ir ver cuál podría ser la unidad que se te puede sacar para que tú vayas a reducir de altura y poder dar todos los parqueos, que
Pero
serían 8.
En el código que dice sobre la altura.
En el código te permite tener esa altura, pero el council tiene un concern de parte de la altura también.
Sí, al lado tenemos un edificio que tiene 4 pisos.
Como te digo, eso es lo que ellos están.
No es que la zona es totalmente plana. Al lado de nosotros hay un edificio de 4 pisos.
Aquí nada más están hasta 2 pisos alrededor de ustedes que estamos viendo.
Detrás hay un edificio.
Bueno, es lo que estamos pidiendo, porque si existe, aquí no está, no lo estamos viendo en el mapa. La altura de alrededor nada más están a 2 pisos. Y entonces, en la manera que pueden... It's not behind.
Claudia?
Yes, sir.
So apparently there's a lot of questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the council, Ms. Perez has some questions about the height of other words to go forward with it.
Right.
So
I don't know if achieving that, maybe taking off those 2 units, lowering it, and then that could maybe work with the parking. So
We'll work it out at the same intent with the previous application, that we'll figure it out. Maybe it's 1 unit that they can drop it, so they
Right.
can reduce it to 2 stories and then provide for the 8 parking spaces for
Thank you,
the
Claudia.
total of the 3 units.
Okay.
So is that, just for clarification, is the council's direction that the parking variance request be removed and that the project be reconfigured so there's no parking variance? Is that it? Or?
So they meet the parking variance, so they're not asking for a parking variance.
Right, so
Yeah.
that they drop,
Eliminate the
they
parking.
delete the parking variance
Correct.
and
They abide by.
they don't require a parking variance, however, okay. Are they clear on that? Are you clear? Do you want to bring it back again with that modification? And
Just for one more clarification, is it just the parking variance or you also want us to address the height issue as well?
The height issue for me, I mean, my colleagues, but the height issue for me, the surrounding buildings that I'm seeing on the map do not identify. You have 2635 that's behind you. You have an orange building and I can't see the number. You have 2681. They're all 2-story buildings, the ones that are directly around you. And then in front of you, you have all 1 stories. None of them are 2-story. They're the rehab center, and some other units that are there. I don't see any that are 4 stories. Or 3 stories, or,
Right, no, we're asking for 3 stories, 4 stories would
I know,
would
but
be if.
the architect said that there's 4 stories nearby. I don't see, in reference to her quote, 4 stories or 3, so. I'm just,
Okay, we will
building 186 is 2 stories, so. That's my personal preference. I don't know what my colleagues feel.
okay,
So the second.
any other?
Okay, so can we also set it for the second meeting of September? We'll make sure we make the modifications on your behalf, as you're requested.
What day was it? I'm sorry.
The second meeting of September, so we
Got
can
it.
make the modifications requested.
Okay.
Thank you.
You would be unless I think the cleanest thing is just to move to continue it till that date and to bring it back to be considered and heard at that time
Yes.
with those changes made.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a motion for that, please?
Motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes,
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Junco?
Yes.
Ms. Perez? Motion carries. The item is postponed until September 23rd, 2025 at 5:30 PM.
next item, please.
Item 16I, first reading of proposed ordinance approving a final plat of safely stored track, accepting all dedication of avenues, streets, roads, or other public ways, together with all existing and future planting of trees, shrubbery, and fire hydrants. Property legally described herein, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, providing penalties for violation hereof, providing for a severability clause, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. Any comments or questions from the board, from the council?
Motion.
Can I have a second, please? Can I have a second? I got a second.
So, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Through the
Counsel.
chair. So this is one of those plats that are not gonna come before us anymore, right?
These will not come before you anymore under the state law, but since we didn't have an ordinance yet in effect,
Okay.
those few that were.
Second? Oh,
Right.
I couldn't hear.
There's a second.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mr. Zogby?
Yes.
Ms. De La Vega?
Yes.
Mr. Junco? Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes,
Motion carries. The item is approved. Second reading and public hearing is scheduled for August 26, 2025.
thank you. Done.
Fantastic.
Good night. Hi, Zog.